And what is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, over the age of 21, you are listening to Burnline Podcast, coming to you live from Ellicott City at Davidus Cigars, where we are going through the Ray Lewis event. We are unveiling to the world the new Ray Lewis cigar. We have smoked the previous one and talked about that a little bit, and this one is pretty special. We had a chance to talk about that. So thank you for joining us on Burnline Podcast as we experience this once-in-a-lifetime event. All right, it is time for the official cutting. I am using my Craftsman's Bench open-ended double guillotine in gunmetal.
Yeah, and I'm using the all stainless steel looking.
So you got the same one in chrome?
Yeah.
The official cutting is brought to you by Fat Boy Cigars. The bold and delicious flavors of premium hand-selected tobacco leaves are highlighted in the original Jack's cigar by Fat Boy Cigars. And don't forget to try the Fat Boy Cigars Boots on the Ground series. For every cigar purchase in this series, Fat Boy Cigars will donate $1 to charities, benefiting our frontline heroes. Fat Boy Cigars, welcome to the Fat Boys world. All right, and as always, we remind you to clip that cigar with authority. No limp-wristed cutting allowed. Now we're just doing the hand job, getting all that dottle out of the part that you stick in your mouth. All right, and this is a 6x54.
Yeah, 52, 54.
No, it's a 54.
Is it 54?
Yeah, is that the official?
I'm not sure. Does not say.
Well, I'm never wrong, so
what
I'm
if
going
it's
with
52?
It's not 52.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it would make sense if it was 52.
It would make sense to be a 52 ring gauge, but it's not. It's a 54. Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Somebody in marketing needs to help out over here. All right, and the official lighting, I am lighting up with my ST DuPont double flame, flat flame butane torch. And you've got your DBL special.
Yeah, my Francisco special.
Your Starship, your SpaceX rocket launcher.
Yeah, but real quick before we light, there is a foot band.
Don't forget to take off the foot band.
Yeah, that'll taste great.
That will combust.
That'll taste good.
The official lighting is brought to you by 2C Premium Coffee. Keep your day fueled with delicious coffee from 2C Premium Coffee. Featuring select beans from Bali, Kenya, Ethiopia, and around the world, 2C Premium utilizes continual roasting, so you are always getting a truly fresh cup of premium coffee. 2C Premium Coffee, morning made us. And as always, we remind you, toasted, not roasted. Treat that cigar with the love and respect it deserves, and it will return the flavor. And we are not in the smoky back room where deals are struck and fortunes are made, adjacent to the Davidus Cigar Lounge in Westminster, Maryland. We are at Davidus Cigars in Ellicott City. Bit of a haul for both of us. And we are
does have better parking.
Does have way better parking. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically street parking only.
Yeah.
In Westminster, which is great because it's a small town, historic Westminster. But we're also, this is like a live format. Mm-hmm. So a little bit different for our audience out there, and also posted alongside our regular content as something special.
Oh, yeah.
So if you've been in the cigar world in the Baltimore area for any length of time, you know that Ray Lewis is a cigar guy and has had a cigar out, Rocky Patel cigar.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think we showed that off on the show. Did we smoke? We didn't smoke that.
No, not the Rocky one.
Yeah. Well, this is the new Ray Lewis cigar, and it is not a Rocky. And in fact, it's going to be a little challenging to talk about the provenance, construction, everything else, because
we have no notes.
Yeah, it's very tight-lipped. But what we can tell you about is how it smokes and how it tastes. So
It's
not
pretty
my. It is pretty good so far. Not my preferred Vitola. I think this is really in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
This
dig
is
it.
this is an El Fumo cigar.
That's right.
Johnny Midas prefers really a Corona is my favorite. I've gravitated to Robustos because nobody's making a fucking Corona anymore.
Nobody cares about your needs.
They should. What's up, everybody?
The squad back here. G squad back here.
And for those of you on the internet, Ray Lewis is the dapper-looking gentleman in the hat, in case you couldn't tell.
Not this one. The other one.
He's almost as big as Johnny Midas. Oh yeah, the other dapper. All right, let's get on.
Folks, we are having a Birdline podcast. If you'd like to be interviewed quickly and see your face on YouTube, Johnny Midas and El Fumo here. I'd be glad to talk to you for a minute.
Stop on by. And we are at Davidus Cigars in Ellicott City. And this is the Ray Lewis Cigar Unveil event, which we are smoking. I really like the style on the packaging.
Yeah.
The band is very classic. I like the foot band with the color carries through that,
Yeah, that purple.
Ravens color. They did a great job there, but I like just how classic this is.
Yeah. And the band's got the 52.
The 52.
And then a crown.
Laissez le bon temps rouler. All right. I'm from the North Shore.
Oh, you are from Black Area.
Okay. So we're practically neighbors.
I lived
That's where my dad lives.
Yeah, I used to live there.
He teaches at that, what's that Catholic high school up there? One of them. That's his retirement job.
Very fun.
Yeah, he was.
I like your shirt.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Dad was. He was part of the physics team at the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Observatory, LIGO, that detected the gravity waves. So, I guess.
2419.
Yeah. But now he teaches physics. So. Yeah, he's got like the long hair and the beard, you know, like
the uniform.
yes, exactly. Tweed coat. This is my uniform for the podcast. All right, so we are smoking the new Ray Lewis release, and this is a cut above. So I would call this 6x54 Toro.
Not a 6x52.
That is a missed marketing opportunity. And I don't know if you noticed about halfway through the toasted walnut that jumped in there.
I'm getting a little bit more like the cedar's more pronounced for me.
Yeah, the cedar is picking up. Some of those initial notes dropped off. The umami is still there. I think it's less pronounced. And I think some of that just comes from aging the tobacco. It reminds me of a barrel-aged leaf,
Yeah.
actually. And this cigar is handcrafted as usual with premium cigars in Esteli.
Starting to get a little vegetal into that second, third.
Yeah, there's a little vegetal.
I was not expecting that. But it is cool that the flavor started to shift.
It is. It's really cool that it's not like one flavor the whole way through.
Right.
I don't taste anything that tastes Honduran
Yeah.
in this. I taste a lot that tastes. It's hard to say Nicaraguan because there's so many regions.
Yeah.
But there's some filler. It tastes like there's some filler from Esteli. And there could be Dominican tobacco in it.
Yeah. I was gonna say the recipe for this is as closely guarded as Ray Lewis guarded that end zone.
All right.
Yeah.
That was awesomely corny.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're at the Ellicott City
Yeah.
Davidus Cigars, and the camera is looking at the back room, the smoky back room where Deals Destruction Portraits are made. However, the layout's a little different because that section behind the camera is a walk-through humidor.
Walk through.
And on the other side is the retail space. So you come in, there's the retail space, there's the register, they've got drinks and all of that stuff.
The lockers are over there.
Lockers are over there. And then you can walk into and through the humidor.
Double wall humidor.
Yeah.
And then 2 tables.
And it's huge. So what is that, about 20 by
14.
30?
No, I'm going to say, what, 14 across?
I'm trying to imagine myself laying on the ground. Yeah, 14 by 20, something like that.
Yeah.
A couple of islands in the middle, a lot of space, and it is full. So you can't sell from an empty wagon.
Right.
Just touching up this burn line. Now this, I noticed that this is a not delicate, but a nice wrapper leaf.
Yeah.
You know, contrasting it to broadleaf, whether it's Connecticut or Pennsylvania, you know, broadleaf.
Mm-hmm.
The burn line is not great because it's so thick and leathery, right? This one's burning more like a traditional wrapper.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you what, though, I hadn't needed to touch up this cigar. It's actually stayed lit. I put it down for more than 5 minutes. And
yeah, that is a claim to fame with this stick. And we were talking to Tom Cannon about this.
yeah.
Because he was smoking one for several hours, and you know, talking to customers, putting it down, putting it back up, it stays lit. I think part of that, you know, you can attribute to the amount of tobacco,
Yeah.
where it can, you know, hold its burn. That's the downside to like a Lancero.
Yeah.
Is like, you know, it just goes out if you put it down or have a stiff breeze, or something like that. But it's also, you know, you have to attribute it to how it's wrapped.
Mm-hmm.
The construction seems to be, you know, really top notch here.
So in contrast to the Rocky, because you probably smoked more than I did.
Yeah.
So contrast from the Rocky to this.
Yeah, I don't think that's a fair comparison. You know, that's like comparing a Chevy truck to a Mazda Miata Sportster. You know, they're just so different.
Yeah.
It's like, well, they're both cigars. Now the crew here is doing a great job controlling the flow. Last time, you know, the last unveiling, there was like 300 people.
Yeah.
So we've got it set up just a few at a time coming back here, so we screw everything up.
Yeah. I think last time I was told that there was people camping out.
Yes, yeah. I mean, waiting for a long time. And we're just having a great time. Now, you can't see the whole room because, you know, the camera's limited, but we got whiskeys over here, you know, people drinking, enjoying themselves. Of course, I've got my official 2C premium coffee in my undisclosed brand tumbler.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Not a Stanley. And we are among the first people on the planet to smoke this cigar.
Yeah.
So, of course, you had all the sort of pre-release folks testing it out, all that stuff. But we actually picked these up and started smoking them first, as soon as they're available. And so you're getting a first account.
Very candid.
Yeah. It's almost got like, you know, what I say when I say like Mexican hot chocolate.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of that.
Like I believe in hot chocolate.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of that in it now that I'm wrapping up the second third. But there is a sweet component, but it's not super. And there's a spicy component, but it's not super. And I would say the main carrier note is still just cedar.
Yeah. Also, I'm exiting the second third, entering the final third. I'm getting a hint of espresso just at the very end.
Yeah, there is. There's a hint of espresso in there.
Yeah.
Catching it first here on Burn Line Podcast, the Ray Lewis legendary 52.
Yeah, the stick definitely, the name definitely suits the stick and the person.
Come join the podcast. Have a seat.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And you are live with America on Burn Line Podcast. So you got a box, huh?
I got a box.
All right.
Yeah, I
And
love Ray Lewis.
that looks an awful lot like his actual autograph.
I'm hoping to get it. I mean, he's the greatest defensive linebacker in NFL history.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all pro honors 8 times. You know, I love what he does with his foundation for disadvantaged youth.
Yeah.
And what impresses me the most about him was the enthusiasm that he had and the way he was able to motivate the team, the defense.
Right.
I mean, each and every time. I mean, that
That
I don't
natural
know
ability.
where that came from, you know, but it was just very stimulating to watch him play. You know, he was amazing. And so I love cigars, and I'm sure I want to ask him about his blend and what went into. I know he's only got a little bit of time, but I'd love to hear what went into this.
Yeah.
The cigar. I don't want to talk about football because I mean he knows all about that, and anything I got to tell him about how much I enjoyed him playing is really irrelevant. It's more I want to hear about his cigars.
Yeah,
That's
we're all
great.
Here.
So,
Yeah,
have you tasted it yet?
I have not.
All right.
So I'm looking forward to it.
No spoiler alerts. We got started. I'm down to the final third, and I think you'll like it.
You're
Okay,
definitely gonna enjoy it.
excellent.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about.
This is a cut.
Larry is the manager here at Davidus Cigars, and I have my locker here. This is the primary lounge that I come to, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Well,
Enjoy
thank you very
yourself.
much. Appreciate it.
You want to be on the podcast?
About what?
The cigar.
The cigar.
The event. Yeah. Grab a seat. What's your name?
Isaac.
Isaac. Johnny Midas.
Johnny Midas.
Alfumo. You're on Burnline Podcast, and I'm assuming you're here for the Ray Lewis event.
Yes, sir, I am.
Yeah. So, common cigar smoker, smoke them all the time.
I
Sometimes.
just started last year.
Yeah.
I just actually took a trip to Punta Cana
Oh, nice.
for work for free, so it was great.
Yeah.
And
Free is
a lot of
good.
Yeah,
cigars,
free
a lot
is
of cigar tours over
Yeah.
there in like
Yes.
the villas. So then my dad's a big cigar smoker.
Nice.
So then he got me into it. So then, so about a year.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy every once in a while.
Yeah.
But I like them though. They're
Do
pretty
you
close.
have what cigars on your mind right now?
I think it was Monte Cristo was like the last one I had.
Okay.
Well, it's right here, but yeah, that was like the last one I had, and that's about it I think for right now. Honestly.
Right on. And so you got the 3-pack. Well, I'm entering the final third. We started smoking it, and you're gonna like it. It's a good cigar.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming out and being on the podcast. And you are live with Burnline Podcast and Ray Lewis at the official unveiling of the new Ray Lewis cigar, Legendary 52. So far, if we're talking about like the enjoyment of the cigar, the flavor profile, just the general enjoyment, it's definitely in the top 10%.
Yeah.
I think of cigars we smoke. It's I would put it as a 6,
Okay.
maybe for strength.
I don't know. I was thinking 5. It's pretty mild.
Yeah, like in the middle, but it has a very complex flavor.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it rich because that conjures up images of like dark and heavy and stuff like that. But complex.
Complex, definitely.
I do the main carrier note seems to be cedar with a hint of baking spices. Cinnamon has definitely been there a little bit. And then we mentioned coming into this final third, the hint of red pepper flakes is there in the background. I'm going to attribute that to tobacco destiny, kind of famous for that flavor. Also, there's this umami flavor that sometimes you get from aged tobacco that I associate with like mushrooms.
Yep.
So something like a portobello or a shiitake.
Yeah.
Not those white button mushrooms.
Yeah, it's got a meaty component, but not like a steak meat.
Yes.
So that's where the mushroom comes into play.
Yeah. So we are smoking the cigar because it is a cigar podcast, but we're really highlighting the event.
Yeah.
And this is a hell of an event that they put on. What I really appreciate is the way that they thought through the logistics of getting people through.
Right.
Without it getting crazy. But, this is just another cool event that Davidus puts on.
Yeah, man.
And, of course, the Castros, they've got, 13 stores now.
Yeah.
They've got the clout and the leverage to pull stuff like this off.
Yeah.
And, of course,
Go ahead.
well, this is the unveiling of the Ray Lewis cigar.
Yeah.
Let's get ready to rumble. Yeah, the only thing this is missing right now is like a big bottle of scotch. We need some alcohol. We are smoking the new Ray Lewis cigar, and we are sipping some water with food coloring in it. Yeah, we got Starbucks frappes, we got Hennessy, we got Old Line, we got Casa Azul. What else do I see out here? So people are throwing a party, and we're having a lot of fun here. But of course, on this show, we are highlighting the legendary 52 from Ray Lewis. This is his new cigar release. So he had the original, and we'll show them side by side. Right now, we're recording live in Ellicott City, Maryland, at Davidus Cigars. But we'll patch in later a comparison of the two cigars, so people can see the difference. Now, I will tell you, here's the main difference. This cigar is so fucking classy, and then the last one, it had like this big label, like a picture of Ray Lewis on it and all that, and it looked more gimmicky.
Yeah.
This looks like a cigar that he happens to like or endorse. So whoever is in charge of the marketing, I think they get major points on this one.
Yeah.
Because this looks like a serious fucking cigar.
Classic cigar.
Yeah. And we've got Steve Castro, owner of Davidus Cigars, on the show. Welcome to Burnline Podcast.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, first of all, thank you for putting on a fantastic event. I can feel the energy in the room. For a lot of people, this is going to be just a life event for them. And we are smoking the new Ray Lewis cigar.
Yeah, what do you think of it?
I think it's a fantastic cigar. Yeah,
Very good cigar.
we're really pleased with this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big hit. Everyone who smoked it said they enjoyed it. We've had people who come back and bought boxes afterwards. So that's a big plus. So we're looking forward to selling a lot of these in the future and today.
Well, all right. We really appreciate you putting on the event and making a cameo on Burnline Podcast. Thanks so much.
Thank you guys for coming. We appreciate you here. I see you're. We got a good crowd, and you guys been talking to everybody.
Yeah. It's great energy. It's well done.
Awesome. Well,
thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. All right, socials and surprises. Don't forget to reach out, burnlinepodcast@gmail.com, and let us know how to make this podcast awesome. Check us out, Instagram, Facebook, not MySpace, Twitter, X, whatever. I don't really do that much anymore. But reach out, like, follow, subscribe, share. You are our marketing plan. And let's go ahead and do some socials while we're doing it.
Yeah.
Live, right? And we are live at Davidus Cigars in Ellicott City, Maryland, at the Ray Lewis meet and greet, the official unveiling of the new Ray Lewis legendary 52 cigar. This is a 6x54 Toro. It hails from Esteli. It is distributed out of California, and they're kind of famous for doing cigar collabs with Michael Jordan, etc. And great cigar. We are wrapping up the cigar, and the main carrier note throughout the cigar was cedar. We've also got notes of cinnamon and this pepper that sort of morphed into a red pepper flakes and got spicier by the end. And then there's also this predominant note throughout the whole thing of umami. It's this meaty flavor that's not steak. I said portobello mushroom, or something like that.
That was the meaty component to it.
Yeah, more organic, more vegetable or fungi than an actual steak. But really a delicious complex smoke, and it does not come across as like a gimmick. This comes across as like, no, we put serious thought into a serious fucking cigar. Ray Lewis just happens to have his name on.
Right. What's your name?
I'm very anti.
Most likely. So, Kevin, what brought you in today?
Ray Lewis, to be honest, he's legendary in the city. As much as happiness he has brought to me, my family, my friends,
Yeah.
watching football, it was just an honor to be able to come.
Are you a cigar smoker?
I'm not a cigar smoker, but I want to get into it. I don't know
Yeah.
the ins and outs of smoking cigars, but Ray Lewis had a new cigar. I'm going to try one. What better person than Rand?
Yeah. Well, what we appreciate about Ray Lewis is he didn't just pack his bags and ride into the sunset. You know, he's got his foundation, stuck around, and serves the community. And, you know, on the gridiron, he was a natural leader and a giant. And, you know, we all appreciated his athletic prowess. And then it turns out, like with a lot of athletes, there's a lot more to the guy, you know, and his willingness to stick around and not say, fuck you, Baltimore, and roll out, you know. We've got a lot of respect for the guy. So
the easy thing is, you know, you win your championship, you no longer play for the team, you live in a different state.
Yeah.
Like you born and raised here.
Right.
So for him to kind of grow into a Baltimorean, is like nothing short of amazing.
Yeah. Hey, can you do us a favor? Can you try his hat on? Hey, see what you look so sharp, and it matches your shirt. That's a good looking man. Yeah. So Plasencia is a very old Nicaraguan brand that made cigars for other people, and they started selling their own branded cigars in 2017. And actually, this Lord Baltimore Nicaragua, which is a house brand for Davidus Cigars, this is actually a Plasencia cigar. Thanks for joining us on Burnline Podcast. It was a pleasure to meet you. Yeah, I'm so happy that this turned into a cigar that I think is worth the price point.
Yeah.
And it's a really good, delicious cigar. Like, you know, because I'm a cigar guy. I'm not a fucking Ray Lewis guy. I mean, I am, but not when it comes to cigars. I'm not going to smoke your cigar because it's got your name on it. And you are live on Burnline Podcast. And this is Desi. And Desi's the other half of El Fumo. So this is Mrs. Fumo. Yeah. This is La Fuma. La Fuma.
But I like that he created a cigar, and it's very well.
Yeah.
It hits.
And you tried it?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
It was missed.
All right. Awesome. So welcome to Burnline Podcast.
Man and Myth Legends.
Man, that's legend. So, of course, we're a cigar podcast, and the takeaway we had with Smoke the Whole Stick was this is a fantastic cigar, and it stands on its own, which is really cool because now I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but some collab cigars, it's about the person, not about the cigar. And this cigar is really fantastic. And I was telling Angel, man, you know, I would pick this up if it had any label, anybody's name on it, because it's such a good cigar. You're going to enjoy it. So, obviously, you're a cigar smoker. You got a cigar over there. Tell me a little bit about the cigar, the vision, everything that went into coming out with it.
Yeah, I did. Started my first cigar with Rocky Patel about 10 years ago. But I think the backstory is a little bit more engaging, right?
Yeah.
Simply, my grandfather always kept a cigar in the corner of his mouth, old school, whether it was lit or not. Right? And every day, man, he would come in with a cigar, and I used to always ask him, why do you smoke a cigar? And he says, the day you figure out a cigar, you figure out man. I was like, what does that mean at 12 years old? Right. And then years later, he ended up passing. And a friend of mine said, come through, heard about Papa. Walked through the door, he hands me that Patron in 1960. I'm like, so 30 seconds into it, I'm smoking a cigar, and I'm in tears. Because now I finally figured out from 12 what my grandfather was talking about. Wow. Which was a cigar, from his interpretation, for me, it's a moment for a man to reset, restore, or renew.
Yeah.
You can absolutely get sore, get ready to go back out to fight the next fight, fight the next victory, get up the next stage, whatever it may be. So man, the moment I started to have these are moments when you're sitting down and the cigar is one of the very few things outside the locker room that brings all people together.
Right.
No matter religion, no matter what color, no matter what that is. So for me, I done the first one with Rocky. Fast forward, done the first one with Rocky, and I was like, love Rocky. Love his food. Like, the next one. I was like, I don't really know that much about it.
Yeah.
I'm from Ohio, but I'm listening to it. Yeah. I don't really know before I endorse anything. I put my name on it. I don't know what I'm endorsing. 10 years went by, that cigar done really well, whatever. I didn't think it was what I wanted. So then a few years ago, I traveled to Cuba. And a good friend of mine, won't mention his name, but he said to me, he said, I want you to connect with my friend. Went to Cuba, stayed over there for about 3 years. And every day, I sat in the shop just like this, from 11 o'clock to 3 a.m.
Nicest thing.
And I really was
I was trying to. Oh no, y'all might do this.
How you pick tobacco and why you rub it, and why you feel it, and it tastes good. It's going back to one of that. So then he was like, "You really want to know?" I was like, "Yeah." So we sat there for like 2 weeks. After that, I got ready to leave. He was like, "I want to do this one." I was like, "Yeah, I want to do this one, and I want to do this one because I know it."
Yes.
So I want to turn tobacco. I got some of them was a little bit spicy. Didn't like the spicy. Don't like the full body. Like a all day type. Like you can have in the morning. You have a nice workout, chill, but you don't have that head rush. Right. So then we started getting to the kind of the bottom line of it. He was like, "This is what I think we're gonna like." He laid out like 3 to 5 weeks. He was like, "This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take care of these things. We're gonna stick with the seeds and people, and we're gonna combine it. We're gonna make this a really So I was like, okay, so what are we gonna do?" He was like, "That's up to you." And I said, "Well, this one, because of what I want to do, I want to make sure that this one is one that everybody remembers." I said, "This cigar has to be all that together." Every moment that you spend on earth, you have a chance to share a cigar with people that you may not know or know. And some people that you can never meet. And that moment, so here we are. Here's my cigar. And age, what, 3 years? My tobacco age, 2 years.
I told them, I said, we've smoked thousands of cigars. I said, this tobacco is at least 3 years old. I said that as soon as I put it in my mouth.
It's funny, but it's the truth. Age of 3 years. And that's when me and him said, he was like, I think I got the one that you pick and like it and really feel comfortable with it. And I tested it, man, and I'm telling you, like, I train every day, but a lot of times when I train, when I put a pen in the pad, I got a cigar. And it's interesting, every time you pick up a cigar, you sit it down, you watch it. These creative flows and energies of life.
Yeah.
Start coming back.
It is a great cigar.
I appreciate that.
I was telling El Fumo, we're a cigar podcast and we don't bullshit. We don't have corporate sponsors, we don't have a shop, anything like that. And so, we just tell the truth to folks. Everybody's got their own palate, make up their own mind, but this is our experience. And quarter inch in, we're like, hey, this is a legit cigar. And we'll be picking up more of it.
Where you originally from? What's that? Where you originally from? I'm from LA. But my parents are Mexican. Got it. Yeah. And you?
Well, I'm from New Orleans. So, yep. Not Cajun. But there's a little tone with it.
No, man, I think everything I'm building is around the human connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the greatest thing that I'm building, right? It's like, how do men connect?
Yes. Yeah. And it's so important.
It's so important. Oh, yeah. Like the right cigar is like the right handshake.
Yeah.
And you know you can trust someone. You take their hand and you look at them in the eyes.
Yeah, the cigar lounge. It's one of those last places you can go meet a stranger and make a friend. You know?
And somebody that you never met in your life, only through the perspective of the world. And you're, man, let me get your number, man. We gotta do that.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, from I'm from South Central. You know, I never in 1,000 years would have thought I'd be sitting right here next to you. Made it out to the here we are.
I gotta see That's what I'm saying. Like, so what's interesting is, and I tell people this all the time. So a lot of times we look at people for where they are. But sometimes we have to know what they're from. So for me to listen, I'm a respectfully saying, I understand and respect them, but it's an honor for me to check you.
That's a hell of a
it's the truth, because you get to have a conversation with someone who's in this business, who's done this, and compliment what you've done. It's something that I didn't grow up in.
Yeah.
I learned to understand. So I stopped. I'm 49. I stopped going out 25 years old. 5 years later, everywhere I move, any business has to be a cigar. So that's how I can trust people.
Yeah.
And now I get to spend some real time.
Right.
People say, "Come to the golf course." I'm not going to stand out there and sweat and we're going to go.
Yeah.
And so I think, honestly, man, the fruitfulness of this is you get to have a conversation and you get to totally 100% yourself. Yeah. That's the power.
Well, we really appreciate you spending some time on the podcast, and for everybody out there, it is a hell of a cigar. And, you know that.
But grab the cigar because you're willing to find your moments.
Yes.
We all need moments. Yes. I appreciate you guys.
Well, this is a hell of a moment. So,
see, my point. I find one of those moments. You guys be good, all right? It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely like that.
Thanks.
Johnny Midas and El Fumo on Burnline Podcast at Davidus Cigars in Ellicott City, Maryland. And we are so happy that we got to live stream this event with Ray Lewis and his new cigar, which, you know, we wouldn't be doing our due diligence if we didn't rank it. So we got to rank it. All right, so we're going to start with presentation. Let me bring up my calculator here because I'm so good with math. I've got an 8 for presentation.
I was gonna say 9. We don't have the box, but
we'll post pictures for folks.
Dude, I love the black box. Just it's a legendary moment. His silhouette.
So what I like about it is that the band, there's 2 bands. There's a foot band, it's narrow, and then there's a regular band. The band doesn't take up too much space. You can see the whole cigar, and that's very important because, you know, when I'm in the humidor, I'm looking for something that, you know, I'm going to smoke. Like I said, I like a naked cigar. You know, I want to see, you know, the leaf and what does it look like and all of that. All right, so we'll give it a 9 for that. And then, of course, the cigar itself is pretty good looking. It's got that classic Cuban natural look to it.
I want to give it a 9, honestly.
All right, so we'll do 9 on presentation, and then construction. So the best part about it is just how well it fucking burned.
Oh, dude, the low maintenance.
Like it is a low maintenance cigar. Smoked well, no issues
No.
with it. I usually start with a 10 and take points off, and I can't really.
No, like I said, dude, it was the most low maintenance cigars I've ever.
Yeah, the band came right off.
I didn't have to relight. It stayed lit. I put it down, picked it back up.
So is it a 10?
It's a 10. It's
Yeah,
a 10 for me.
it's a 10. And then price. So $42 is not an everyday smoke.
No, it is.
This is something where a lot of folks are going to take a breath and say, like, should I put that down or should I get 3 of the cigar I really like?
Yeah.
Right. Now we smoked it and we said, not only is it worth it, but I'm actually going to buy another one because it's actually a really good cigar.
It really was.
Like, if it had somebody else's name on it, Padron or Fuente, like I would buy it again.
Yeah.
So I've got like an 8 for price.
I was gonna say 7, but
7. Okay, we'll do that. We went up for presentation.
Yeah.
We're down for price.
I could see it as an everyday smoke if it was like at least $22, $23 less.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, if you've got, I feel like if you've got the means, it could be. What I really liked about it is he mentioned he wanted to build a cigar you could smoke at any time of day.
Anytime.
And I think it hits that. So it's got the complexity to keep you engaged the whole time. And it's got the flavor for that. But it's not so strong that you can't, it's like, well, I'm going to smoke this, only in these certain conditions or whatever.
Well, the cool thing is, real quick, remember, he did mention, Fernando did mention there's different Vitolas coming out. So maybe that might mean different price points.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
My apologies. Francisco.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to flavor, and we mentioned there's the cedar note, which is the major carrier. There's that rich umami that is reminiscent. For me, it was more shiitake mushroom, but maybe portobello.
Yeah, that meatiness.
Yeah, and then there was that cinnamon, and then it sort of turned into like crushed red pepper flake by the end, and then there was a sweetness through the whole thing. But to me, it reminded me of buffalo mozzarella.
Yeah.
Whereas like it's sweet, but it's like it's not sweet like sugar. It's sweet like dairy sweet or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought the flavor, me.
Yeah.
My flavor profile. I'm the Cuban-esque, light floral, aromatic, and so it was right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So I've got a 9 for flavor based on my palate.
I actually agree, a 9. I love that it changed and it wasn't a single note the whole way through.
Yeah.
Like that was important.
Yeah.
I think from what I remember, from what I heard, I mean, he probably felt the same way. It didn't bring out the flavor that he was looking for,
Yeah.
more than just one note,
Right.
So many moments. There was 3 moments in the
Yes.
cigar.
And of course, Ray mentioned the moments.
The moments.
For men to bond together and also, take time for reflection and stuff like that. This is the cigar for it because one, low maintenance.
Yeah.
You're not worried about keeping it lit. There's fucking 7 miles of band to take off. All that stuff. The fact that you can just concentrate. Have that Zen moment.
Oh yeah.
Which brings us to experience. With experience, we often talk about use case. So not a dog walker. I'm not going fishing with a cigar. Not a yard worker.
Definitely a football game cigar.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's got the length.
Oh yeah.
You could smoke this at the football party.
Yeah. Could go all 4 quarters.
You could definitely a lounge cigar.
Yeah.
I think also celebration gift. It just has to be appropriate.
Yeah.
Like not a wedding gift because you're not giving somebody else's name on it. But it's also what I like about it is it's high end.
Yeah.
So you can gift it and it is meaningful. It's not like giving somebody an acid. Hey,
oh yeah.
Glad you got married, buddy. Here's your $7 flavored cigar. Now, of course, the experience here, like we can't like,
How do we rank that?
yeah, like 25. I mean, we had this event.
11 for the presentation, so why don't we give it 11 for experience?
11 for experience.
11 for experience.
11 for
Rules
experience.
a little bit again.
Yeah, we're breaking the rules, but I think for anybody that smokes this, even if you're not a Ravens fan, or whatever, it's just a damn good cigar.
It really is.
And I said it a few times throughout the podcast. If this was just sitting out there with somebody's band on it, La Gloria or whatever, I would fucking buy it.
Yeah.
Because it's a good cigar and it stands on its cigar chops and legs, And And that brings the total score for Ray Lewis's new cigar to 46, which is among our highest ranked cigars. Yeah. You know, if you are a cigar smoker out there, I would encourage you, you know, get past the price point and pick this cigar up because it's actually a really, really good cigar.
It sounds like he's going to get into the game a little bit more, like literally.
I hope so, but I loved that story about him staying in Cuba and just trying cigar and 11 p.m. to 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And he's just studying tobacco leaf and stuff like that. And
we've learned two things: Nicaraguan and Cuban seed.
Yes.
So far, so.
Yeah. Criollo. Criollo. So that's it for us on Burnline Podcast. Thanks for joining us on this unveiling of the Ray Lewis cigar. Have a great week.